Welcome back to the Shedderoo, everyone. That's not going to stick. The wife's going to get it for that. So on today's video, I've got these. RC35 forks, Kevlar legs, came off eBay, £170, quite cheap. I'm going to check them out, I'm going to strip them down, overhaul them. Well, hopefully not, because apparently the guy who we got them off said they're actually quite mint. He did also include the paste. It's like shram butter and all the rest of it, like honey slick and all that. So we're going to pull them apart and actually check the insides before we obviously put these aside for like a future build anyway. So welcome back. Thank you for watching the channel. Stick around to the end because I've got an update on the Orange P7 and the Kona Kilauea that's been away for paint. So yeah, I'll add some bits at the end for that one. But all in all, let's have a quick look at the forks as they are. All I've done is open the packet like that so far, just to make sure there's paste forks in there, not some Manitous. So let's have a better look at the condition and then we'll pull them apart, have a quick look. These are super easy forks as well, so let's get to it. Well, straight out the packaging, I can see that the guy has done a relatively good job. That should, oh god, I ain't opened it yet. Yeah, that's the grease for them. Some spare crusty bolts. He did say he replaced the ones in there, so there'll be the original bolts in there. So let's have a look. Oh, it's even made little holes for them to sit in. Look. Yeah, so we've got the actual little man on there as well for the old brake. That don't feel too bad. Not too crusty either. Let's check the fork legs. So, fork legs, they are pretty sweet, to be fair. Oh wow. Oh, they're not in bad condition, are they? Let's check the seals. Slight little bit of dust and dirt on them, but the seals in the forks look relatively good. Yeah, they look good. Right. Let's take these apart and make sure they've got an adequate amount of grease on the elastomers. Let's hope the elastomers are good in these, and yeah, give them a clean up and go from there. Right, here we are. Let's get the forks out. Let's get rid of the packaging. And so, super easy with these, obviously, because the crown can be removed from super easy with these. Obviously the crown can be removed off the actual stanchions as well there. We already know the seals look relatively good. So the way that these come apart is just through the bottom of these legs. You can see there's a 4mm nut in either end of the leg. So let's pull these. Now these shouldn't be super tight because these are only hand tight. I'm not sure of the actual Newton meters, but here's one loose. So we'll undo that all the way. And then the next one. Now fingers crossed, these should be exactly how the seller sold them on eBay. He said they was recently serviced and that he would include some fresh paste grease, the specific grease for the actual forks. Just so I believe on here we should have elastomer there. So not looking too bad. Does need a bit of a clean, and it's dry as well, so that definitely needs a grease. And we should have another one on this leg, exactly the same. So far relatively so good. Yeah, so they're exactly the same, and that literally slides over, sits in that kind of little notch just there as well. But they're dry and dirty and need a grease. So then after that, you should be able to just pull this off. There we are. So that will give you that. So there's no ghosting or anything on that. So that's good. Oh, they're relatively clean as well. Bit of dirt on there. We'll clean them up anyway. So great, not too bad. And then you should have some more elastomers and a washer down there. So there we are. Then let's have a look down there. To be fair, they look actually quite clean. The seals look great. Give them a little bit of a clean and a wipe and tidy up in there. But that's not too bad at all down there. Bit of a clean out. Now, the elastomers all in one piece as well, which is good. Slightly deformed, but they're not bad. Then that's the little washer that sits between the elastomers on either side in the upper leg. And again, they're not too bad at all as well. So, to be fair, it's not greased. Nothing's greased. That one's starting to perish just a little bit, but there's still a lot of life left in them. So, right, that is literally all that is in these forks. That's beautiful. So what I'll do now is I'll go and clean these, and then we will basically grease and reinstall. There we go. So let's get these bad boys put back together. Looking very nice, and I'm throwing stuff all over the floor. So let's get that. What we'll start with is, let's get the paste grease. Ooh. Exactly the same as like shram butter and stuff like that, honey slick. And then what we're going to do is make sure that's got enough on. Slide the first one down and over, and then we'll just grease up that elastomer as well. Same with the top, give that a good grease in. Do the same with this side. slide that over. There we are. Then put some all over these. And I'd probably say I'd probably do this once every year if possible. I reckon there's a lot more life left in these elastomers, but it will reach a point where they will need to be replaced just to get the best performance out of the actual fork as well. It's not a massive travel fork, but you want them running as sweet as possible. And then what we'll do is, now they're all clean as well, so we'll make sure that they've got loads of lube and grease around as well. There we are. And then, as always, just put a little bit on the actual stanchion as well, just to make it ease itself in just a little bit better, because if that's dry, it might just push the grease out of the actual seals out the way a bit. Now you don't want to put any kind of grease in the actual threaded area there, but I will gently just put a bit just around the top of it as well, but not in the threaded area. So we can now start reassembling. Hardly none left, but maybe enough for next time, or just a top up on a mini service later on down the line. So the easiest way to put these back in, because obviously it goes that, them, and then the actual rods, is I find with these sets is drop your rods in first, and then when you drop your rods in, if it can show, drop your rods in basically because you want your elastomers to go over that rod. So we'll try getting the first one in first and push down. So, and then you've got to then get it over. So if I get an Allen key, you've then got to get the rod to go through the center of that elastomer, which is probably going to be easier with a spoke. I've got some spokes next to me, to be fair. So let's fiddle around with this. There we go, that's one all the way down. Then you want your washer, and this is the one that is going to be a bit more of a pain, because it's got to go over that shaft. So that has got to go over that, which is a massive pain. So this is the fiddly part of it, because what will happen is the spacer can fall down the side of that. Now that's not great. So you've got to then kind of fiddle with it. There we go, that one's in. And then the final one should then go down and is relatively okay and easy. There you go. So it's hard to see because it's a super black hole. What I'll do is I'll get the other side in and then I'll shine a torch down there for you to actually see as and where it goes, or I can do that now. Let me go and get my phone so I can just show you how it should look. Yeah, this is not easy. Just see down there, so where it's running. Yeah. Let's get the next one in. So all I'm going to do is stop that from falling out. I'm just going to plug that end with a bit of rag just to keep that all in place down that one. And then slide that one up. Use my finger. Slide the first elastomer back down. There we go. And then the washer. And again, it fell straight down at the side, so find using the J-bend of a spoke to hook it and pull it back up and then push it over to where it should be. Actually works really bloody well. Yeah, there's that one in. And the final one. There we are. And then obviously you then get the fork back in. Now you should, leaving that one plugged, just wipe my fingers, we should now be able to catch the thread of that quite easy. And then catch that one quite easy. So that one's tight. That one's tight. Now I'm not going to nip and totally up because that one's a ball end there, so I don't want to strip the bolt or anything like that. So I'll go back to my flat end Allen key. And then just do the final little tweak on there. Final little tighten on there. Lovely. And then don't lose that spoke because that's for the wheels that I'm building. And then all the gunk and stuff, all the excess can all be wiped off from all around the fork. Some seals are now looking fresh as anything. And then with it, obviously it's got all my grubby paw prints all around it. I use some silicone shine. Not only this will bring out the shine, protect it, repel any dirt, but it also makes the fork smell like bubblegum. There we are. Really easy fork stripping, kind of clean service. So I'd probably say if you own a set of these, you probably want to be doing more often than not, rather than just leaving them to go to crap. So yeah, they're stripped clean, looking fresh, looking nice, ready for a future build. Now, as I said, update time. So a couple of weeks back, or maybe a month ago, we did a trash or treasure on a orange P7 which had the nickel plating. Now obviously I said at the time in the video that it looked trash, and it did. If you saw it in person, it looked like someone had took sandpaper and scouring pad to the nickel finish. So that was stripped, that was sent off to paint, that's back from paint. My friends put the stickers on. So that full build will be coming up over the next week or so. And not only that, if you go back further, probably about 3 months ago, we had a Kona Kilauea in for a frame repair. So all of the bottle boss riv nuts was all stripped out, knackered. So I replaced those in the frame. But the bike had so much cosmetic damage on it, it was unreal. And my friend wanted it painting, so that's gone off for paint. That will be back as well in about a week and a half as well. So we've actually got a lot of full builds coming in the next couple of weeks. So cool beans. If you've got this far, as always, appreciate everyone that watches my videos and shows support and sends messages and all sorts. Can't thank you enough, really. On that note, old Shadowrooners, see you next time.